All right, folks, check this out. We are still selling that, but we're back. We're gonna work on the Suburban a little bit. I'm gonna tell you my game plan today. So the other day we were running into some issues here with this top plate. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we got a little gap in here because of that. So I got to take this back off. I got to grind some more stuff down. We're going to try to get it to match. We're going to hook up this brake line today, and then we're going to throw the drive line back on. And then we need to figure out my the steering. So I've got a steering ram. We're going to put a new steering ram onto this thing. Now, it's a little smaller than this. This shaft is pretty big. This thing is pretty beefy. The other one is not going to be that beefy. But I talked to some Jeep folks just for fun motorsports. They do a lot of stuff with Jeeps. They do a lot of stuff with 1-tons. However, the Dana 60s are all on Jeeps. But same concept. They're on the Jeeps. They're pushing 40s. We should be okay. So I bought a new steering ram from those guys. And we're going to, once we get all this stuff in, I'm going to mount that, get the steering all set up. Then we are going to get a hold of the welder. And we need to figure out a mount like this for this axle so that we can hook the stabilizer bar. I don't know. I hear it's important to have this thing hooked up, so we got to hook that up. So that is, oh, well, I don't know if I should put that on this side. Yeah, it's probably gonna have to be mounted somewhere right here. So it might be fairly close to this brake line. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? I need to get that mounted up, but I need to have some fancy brace probably coming off of here to mount up. Or something, I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna leave that up to my welder buddy. So here we go. We're gonna get started on this thing. All right, folks. Quick reminder. That's a sweet car. Anyways, quick reminder. If you need some bucked up, head down to my link below. Grab you some bucked up. They got all sorts of stuff. Recently, I've learned that part of my headaches that I get are because I'm drinking a lot of water, but I'm not replacing, obviously my electrolytes and the stuff. So, anyways, they've got some electrolyte drinks I'm gonna order up. They've got some sodium, like salt pills stuff, like, I don't know, Himalayan salt. Anyways, that's good for me. It's good for my body because I sweat so much that I need to replenish those. So, anyways, link below, bucked up. So, update, my GoPro is a piece of junk, and it takes forever to charge, but I've got everything. Everything's hooked up. Got my driveline hooked up, got this hooked up. I think this will work. I don't know, I'm still gonna do some measurements and see if that'll work, but my thoughts is this pin is lined up with the bottom of this leaf spring, so it doesn't really matter where the top point sits. I believe. I don't know. Let me know, because this top point, I had to grind out some of the bottom point, and you can see where my last top plate fit right there. So it's just a little bit off. It sits a little forward. Is that going to affect anything performance-wise on this vehicle? I don't know. I'm still learning. We do drive this on the road sometimes. We don't really drive it very far, maybe 40, 50 miles an hour. Just more of an around town type of road driving. So I don't hit the freeway or anything like that. We are gonna probably pick up a trailer and start towing this bad boy to the trailheads. Just because, obviously, if things break, you wanna tow it. But now that I've got this Dana 60 underneath here, hopefully we won't be breaking these U-joints. Now, I think they were breaking because I got this, like, what was it, the Detroit locker, Anyways, the front was welded. So having a welded locker that's supposed to work properly, so that I've got one on the rear, and basically if I welded that one up, if I was going around corners, you'd hear my tires chirping. You know what I mean. But because it's a Detroit locker spring style setup, this is what I've learned, right? That when I go around corners, I'm not chirping. It's not trying to spin those tires faster. Well, the front being locked up, when I'm in 4-wheel drive, when I'm on the rocks, when I'm going to turn, one wheel is wanting to turn faster than the other because I'm turning it. So the inside's wanting to spin a little faster to match that outside. And I think that that's just putting a lot of pressure on those U-joints, or and they just break. So I've had a lot of trouble with these breaking on that Dana 44 over there, and I was thinking it was the big tires. It's not the big tires. I see a lot of Jeeps, a lot of folks running 40-inch tires on those Dana 44s. Now, don't get me wrong, if I'm not rock crawling and I'm bajaing and I'm putting some power to the ground and that thing comes down, sure, it's snapping stuff. I've seen my buddy break shit on the old Dana 40 or the Dana 60s. But anyway, so got that, got my brake lines hooked up, got my shocks mounted, got the drive line hooked up. Now I just need to put on the steering like we talked about earlier, and obviously I need to bolt that. It's just sitting in there. But anyways, this, I keep talking about this, I keep coming back to this. This is set up on my 44 where I've got this bar hooked up over there to the other side of the frame. Now, my dilemma is I need to mount this somewhere, but I can't mount it right here. Why, you ask? Well, the steering setup on this Kingpin is a little different than that over there. All this stuff, steering on the top here, is in the way. These brakes, a little beefier. So when I'm turning this stuff, also this brake caliper, I don't want to turn it because I get some fluid leaking out, but when I turn this stuff is all gonna be rotating. Now, I don't know, I might have to cut this and bring it back just a little bit and get a mount somewhere right in here close to this shock. I think if I shortened it a little bit, I can make that work, but I'm gonna have to shorten it. Now, is that gonna affect anything? I think if I shortened it, when I'm steering, it's still gonna hit somewhere in here, so I need to bring a mount up over here, maybe kind of at an angle just a little bit with another little notch. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at some things on that, but that is a dilemma we're running into. So if you have any suggestions, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go watch some YouTube videos. I'm gonna go watch a few things to see if I can't figure out what I need to do to get that set up. Now, I want to get my hydraulics hooked up, welded on here somehow. I am gonna have to probably cut that mount off, but I'll just get my grinding wheel, cut it off. But that's gonna be the problem. Like I said, if I turn this, I'm gonna get some stuff squirting out of here, so I don't want to turn it just yet. I turned it earlier and it squirted all over my freaking speaker and all sorts of stuff. But anyways, that's it. Not much of a video today. I'm sorry, it's boring. I was trying to get a little bit of footage of me working on some stuff, but the GoPro had other plans, so I ordered some new batteries, so I'll always have batteries charged, because when I plug this thing into my computer or an outlet, I leave it plugged in so it's charging, and then every time I go to grab it, it's like at 1%, but it's plugged in. Is this thing like turning on and draining the battery or something itself? I don't know, but it's starting to frustrate me. So I ordered another charger, got some extra batteries, so we should not be running into that problem anymore. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Not much of a video today. Follow along, subscribe. Yeah, anyways, smile. Smile every morning. Be grateful for all that you have. I still debating. I still have this up for sale. I almost bought another crew cab. I almost sold this. If I would have sold it, I would have bought another crew cab. But the crew cab is probably going to be gone by the time I sell this car. But it's a sweet crew cab. I want it. If this car sells, I'll buy it. So stay tuned. You never know what's going to happen.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays.